Good morning, role players. Can you all hear me out there? Good. Let's get into it. This is In and Out of Character, a podcast about role-playing and role players. Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. My name is Mr. Island, and I am here today with... I don't know how to pronounce your name.
Bistellaire.
Bistellaire. Oh no.
If you want, you can say the English version is Bistellaire.
Bistellaire?
It's just, bi for two and stars, so stellar, stellaire. It really, it's just... or you can just call me BB if you want. Or bye-bye if you want. I don't... Just...
BB. Okay, I'm gonna call you a BB because...
Or even just... If you prefer, you can stick with Poppier because that's my character's name.
Poppier? I've always said Poppier. Is it Poppy or Poppier?
Actually, it's pronounced Poppier.
Poppier?
But yeah, I get the the Englishization is completely fine.
Oh man, that
Yeah,
is...
because
I am
story
horrible. I am bad at pronunciation. I really am.
Not making your life easier. It's in French. You're gonna be able to say it after the sun has ended. So I have no high hopes on that. It's okay.
Okay. Eventually, someone later on is gonna ask me if I've ever learned how to pronounce your name, and just gonna be like, yeah, sure, I guess I did, maybe, who knows. Anyways, so we're here with BB.
Remember, absolutely not.
We're here with BB, and BB is someone I met in Elder Scrolls Online about 2 years ago now, it feels like.
Well, probably because I know I've been on the Elder Scrolls Online for 2 years with the Conclave with that. At least 2 years. So is it 3? I don't remember. Time is just an illusion. So yeah, that would make sense. At least 1 or 2 years.
Right. Yeah. It
easily.
It definitely feels like it's definitely been over a year. Because I joined the Conclave.
It feels like a lifetime ago.
A freaking lifetime ago. Just that's all it needs to be said. So tell me about yourself, BB. How did you whom are you?
Whom am I?
Yeah.
I can say I can call myself a wannabe artist. Like I said, I do drawings. Of course I do role play. But yeah, it's like the art that I want to put out there in the world is mostly drawings, but I know I also do some kind of I have a formation in acting. Well, it's really bare bones, but I did do that. So yeah, not exactly that I touch at everything around art, but I'm pretty, I'd say, well versed in some different kinds of arts. So yeah, I would just call myself an artist. I'm from Quebec, not the city, but the province. The city I'm from is Gaspé, which is a small town that you've probably never heard of. It's by the sea. It's really beautiful.
That's cool. I don't think I've actually ever talked to someone from up in your area yet.
Well, you have talked with me before.
Oh yes, I mean, of course we've had a conversation before, but not on the podcast because I'm keeping an imaginary map over here with pins in it that tells me where people are calling from. And
if you need me to pinpoint where Gaspé is, just ask me. It's okay.
I probably will, because I'll probably never be able to find it on a map. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Anyways, you're an artist, so what brought you into an artist into the role playing world, or was it a role player who went into the artist's world?
Well, I've always done drawings before, especially as a kid. But actually, roleplay really helped me improve my art since, I had these characters that I wanted to draw, so I could draw them. While before, I just didn't really know what I was drawing, so I just doodle on my math exams and stuff like that. But as I started doing roleplay, I really expanded my creative universe, if you could say. So yeah, it's pretty much that. Plus, the well, it's also the thing because I did improv at my school, and with the role play, it's kind of like similar in a way. So
Yeah,
in a way, I'm sure both influence both.
I got you. I've always wanted to try improv, but I mean, I can think of things on the spot for role playing, but normally you have like a moment or two to kind of think about what your character
Yeah,
would do or how to react to a certain scene or an issue or something like that in the scene. When it comes to improv, normally it's like go, 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 go. And I'm just
yeah,
like, I can't, man. Listen, my brain's too quick for this crap.
yeah. It's like one of our coaches said that in improv, in your head, never say no. The first idea you get is the best one you'll get.
Say that again.
You can't say no to yourself in your head because the first idea you get is the best one you'll get.
How do you mean? Like, what do you? Can you? Maybe I'm just dumb, but I don't think I understand that one.
Well, basically, just like if I throw you like a situation and you try to react to it, if your first thought is to like explode in reaction, go for it. You don't have time to think, oh no, but this reaction will be better because people will see you hesitate. Like I've seen people try to guess what their better reaction is, but there's no better reaction than the first one because it's gonna be a genuine reaction. If we have to go pretty deep in this, but it's really just don't waste your time, just go.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So yeah,
I think I can kind of understand what you're
Mhm.
saying.
Like
So
for
basically,
most people, like improv is really scary, but for someone who did it, it's really fun. But yeah, it's a skill that develops with the years.
so if the next time Papier and Callie see each other, are you gonna be mad if I just explode out an impromptu and just I don't know chuck her off a cliff?
Honestly, you could throw Papier off a cliff and she would be fine.
She would be
For
fine.
all the shit that happened to her, being thrown out of a cliff would be perfectly correct. And fun fact, my first character I've ever did in roleplay, like the second time I did roleplay with her, the second night, I got thrown off a building.
My goodness. Okay, so really quick background note for everybody. So BB here plays a character named Papier. Papier is an Argonian in Elder Scrolls Online, and Argonians are known for being rather tough people, I guess.
Yeah, like they're really good at surviving, which is
Because
ironic because
oh
in
yes,
the Sacred Band we have like a running gag about Argonians that always die.
right, yeah.
Love.
So Papier, BB's character, Papier, the Argonian, has a wonderful habit of just eating things that they shouldn't eat and surviving
Absolutely.
and being thrown off things and being smacked around a lot. So
My
that's what
two
we are alluding to.
my two favorite example of this is actually one of the first time I made Papier not exactly eat something she shouldn't do, but bite someone she shouldn't do. It was with the are like the spies of our organization, and there was like an orc that was like a cultist to the Daedric princes of uh not pacts, but I forgot the name. Anyway, that guy. And basically, like the concept of that orc was that she basically DIY'd her own vampirism with like poisons and stuff like that. It was really weird, and she just of our NPC helpers, and it downed him instantly. And I had Papier just without thinking, just bite her back. And the Iron Inquisitor of that time, Alicia, made me roll a fortitude to see if I get poisoned, and I rolled really high, so I wasn't affected by the clearly poisonous orc, and it just became a habit to just bite people now. And the second one was I don't remember which time was it, but basically they were on a boat, and it was like my Kia was being like grabbed by like this leviathan kind of thing, and like she was like above the sea, so I had Papier do her ability that prevents damage for other people, and I had her literally shoot herself from a ballista into the monster.
Basically, Papier has no regards for self-preservation, and yet she still survives
by sheer luck. That's it.
She lives by sheer luck.
Sheer luck and some scenario. The plot armor. That's right.
I'll be honest, I forgot why we brought this up in the first place, but that is why we are referring to Papier. So you've told me a little bit about where you kind of came from to get into role playing and vice versa. But let's imagine you and I are in an improv group, right? And we have a task, and I quickly turn to you and I say, "What is roleplay?" And you answer with,
I'm probably gonna look at. I would probably just look at you like this and just tell you this is what we're doing right now. We are doing play. But in itself, what exactly is roleplay? That's a good question, because I feel like you could answer more on what is not roleplay, because is theater roleplay? Is playing helmet roleplay? Maybe, I don't know, but that could be, because like I said, with improv and roleplay, like it's pretty similar kind of skills, even if one is like really acting, so it's really your movement and your voice, and the other is just writing. It's still pretty much the same. You react at something without reacting as you would. Basically, it's a kind of storytelling that involves pretending, I'd say. So it's a bit of make-believe, it's a bit of writing, it's a bit of artistic expression. It's a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. I agree wholeheartedly, because when you take this weird little hobby and we sit down and roleplay like you and I, like we have to understand, because you and I are not in voice chat while we're role playing. For anybody who doesn't know how MMO role playing normally works, normally we aren't in a voice chat with the other person, so we don't hear their voice or whatever. We can't hear the other person, but we can understand how their characters work. And from that, we're gauging a whole lot of information when it comes to what the other person is doing. Like they might do something, and it gives a slight hint of, okay, so that they're okay with this. And then you respond, and that tells the other person like what your character is doing, but it also gives them hints at you as well. It's very strange, right? Like,
yeah.
I went off on a bit of a tangent there. Forgive me.
Well, I always do. So I expect we're going to be on a lot of tangent here.
But okay, have I asked you how you got exactly into role playing? Like, what was your first real big steps into the role playing universe?
You didn't, and I'm glad you asked, because I actually have a bit of story for that.
Yes, please tell me.
So, well, I've seen others say that roleplay never really truly started, because even as a kid, you do play with your dolls, play make believe, so it's kind of a roleplay, and I agree. But I'm going to ignore it, because my first time during roleplay, MMO roleplay at least, was in a game called Wakfu, which is honestly, it's a really cool game in itself. But yeah, I had downloaded the game like some days ago, and I was just wandering in the starting city of Astrub, and I stumbled into the park, which is going to be relevant later, and I just saw some people on the chat doing weird things with little asterisks and stuff, and I was just wondering what was going on. So after spying a bit, I decided, okay, I kind of get what they're doing. Let's try it. And one of these two persons became like a really close friend of mine. And we did roleplay after that. We hopped off the game and did some roleplay on Discord. But lately, that person of the pseudonyms of Nexilim died last year. And with the other friends we made during that time, mostly on Wakfu, but a little bit on the exterior too, we did have like a little ceremony on Discord to basically just to reunite the group and just mourn the loss of Nexilim. So yeah.
I'm sorry, I had myself on mute so Jaden wouldn't speak into the microphone.
It's okay. I mean, I know that's gonna sound kind of grim, but I'm really okay with it, especially since on her Discord, on her Discord profile, like her biography is literally a pun about cancer, which is how she died. Like I can read it, but it's in French.
Oh my goodness! If you start reading in French, I'm gonna start crying because I don't know anything in French. I don't know a single bit of. Okay, but what happened? What happened after the Wakfu? Like, how did you get there from? How did you get from Wakfu roleplay group to Elder Scrolls roleplay group?
Honestly, it just sort of happened, I say, because like there was a point that like I said, I dropped out of Wakfu and did roleplay on Discord. I did many servers doing different roleplays which most of them were really cool. Some of them were a little less cool, but that's the art, and eventually I did get back on Wakfu, but just the whole roleplay community had changed drastically, so that didn't really hold up. And eventually I just stumbled into the Divine Conclave. So I started doing roleplay again. And on the side I also did some Dungeons and Dragons, which is how I created Papier at first. But yeah, like it was just like one or two campaigns that really didn't last long, unfortunately. So yeah, one time I had bought Skyrim, and since I really like MMORPGs, even though I despise PvP and most content based, because like on Wakfu I've played so many hours, and my one character with the most level is just halfway there. It's terrible. So like but I still really love MMOs, and yeah, I had bought the Elder Scrolls Online, and eventually I just saw on the chat that there was a guild doing roleplay, and I just thought that sounds cool, and I just did that. Playing Papier because of course I did.
Right. So, what about tabletops? Have you tried any tabletop role playing games or LARPing or anything like that? Or has it just been MMO role playing and like forum role playing?
No, I did do some Dungeons and Dragons, and like I said a bit earlier, I am DMing for my own system, which is not like
you did say that.
Public. It's not public or anything. It's just me and some of my friends who. Basically, it's me and my sister. Back in the day, we invented a system and tried to play with, but her friends they couldn't make it, so we put it in the metaphorical freezer, and I got it back, and we're actually doing it now. So yeah, that's not my first time DMing, but it's pretty much the first time that it's actually going well.
That's good. That's good because you did say that earlier, and I'm so sorry about that. My dumb monkey brain was like, "Wait, did she talk about this? What did she? Oh, fuck! I better ask again."
Don't worry. I know, like it's the reaction of like 98% of the people I talk to is they're just like, what is she talking about? I don't know. I didn't get it. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I ramble. I know I do.
I also ramble. So you have enough interest in the role playing community to, at the very least, like kind of create your own system for your friends to role play through. So you
Even
just
even if disclaimer, I did kind of like not exactly steal from the system of the conclave, but I did take heavy inspiration out of it.
well, I also take quote unquote heavy inspiration from a lot of sources. So you're good.
I mean, that's how most people do anyway. Like everything's been done before, so everything we do, even if it's, oh, even if we came up with it, somebody came up with it before.
So at this point, we ask the question of the week. Or we answer the question of the week from the last episode because Miss Diana came on and asked if your character could have any companion, any animal companion, what would it be and why? And since you're our guest, you get to start off first.
Well, I already answered that in the Discord. But actually, I have planned some for other mods because I love character creation to an unhealthy degree.
You and my friend Maddie, who I love to death and who I know will listen to this podcast episode and who might also be hearing me from their room right now, but they spend a lot of time making characters and not actually role playing.
Same. I mean, I forgot to, but I meant to send you a picture of my D&D minis collection, and all of them have a personality, a name. Well, not all of them have a name. I'm still working on it, but they all have a personality and a history. All of them, and there's a lot. So yeah, So Poppy, what animal would she really like? Honestly,
a crab.
Oh yeah, apparently.
Crab.
Yeah, and honestly, Poppy would just really be great with animals. Like, Poppy, she's really like at the first second she existed, Poppy was meant to be a himbo, like a female himbo. So obviously she would love to have a pet, any kind of pet. Even if she had like a velociraptor, she would still name it Fluffy, like Mr. Fluffy the Velociraptor. She would do that. So honestly, it's like pretty much anything. A dog would be great because Puppy also have kind of like a dog-like attitude. Like she literally wags her tail when she's happy sometimes. But I also thought, like, obviously she's a parrot, so a parrot would be cool. But also a dodo bird would be really funny because it's a reference to Parrots Bands of Misfits, which is like, if you ask me what kind of parrot Papier is, there's your answer. But yeah, obviously, like, pretty much any kind of pets would work. Also, I know Asha, which is my most evil character. I would not give her any kind of pet because I know there will be some vegan really mad at me for this imaginary pet. But besides that, I also have another character which actually started as a roleplay character, but later became a character I want to write an actual story with, which is called Mary. Mary actually has a cockatiel, which she called Patrick. And yeah, she really loves Patrick because Patrick really has like, typical cockatiel chaotic energy. Like you would just get up at 4 a.m. and screams. And like, yeah, I also did like a little drawing of just those two just dancing in the living room together. Like it's really like she really loves this bird, even if it's kind of a dumbass. But Mary also is kind of a dumbass, so they fit perfectly. Besides that, it's weird because I have a character that is a ranger, but actually would not like to have a pet. Her name is Maita, and basically she just she doesn't like anyone, really. She's a pretty spiteful person.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I know also ukulele would really like I know like in the game, I've
Mm-hmm.
I've had like a pet a
Mm-hmm.
dog on the game, and I thought that yeah, ukulele would like a dog because she's someone that likes to be active, even though she's not really the most sociable. But
Mm-hmm.
also, ukulele wants to have a farm, so she probably would want lots of animals, like cows, pigs, chicken, cats,
Mm-hmm.
anything else. So yeah,
Speaking of chickens, I'm gonna do a segue. So we also read some of the other members in our Discord, like their response to the question too. And the very first one that I saw was from our friend Mike. And they said one of my characters is a vampire chicken farmer. So his animal companion would be a chicken. So, hold on.
but the question
Are the
is it
chickens
the
vampires?
yeah, is it vampire chickens?
Or are you a vampire who is a chicken
Or
farmer?
is it a vampire farmer?
Both
Maybe both.
both prospects makes me really giddy for some reason. I can't
I
stop.
just wonder. I just wonder. A vampire turns into a bat. What does a vampire chicken turn into?
I'm sorry. Oh my god, I want to know. I want to know so bad. But I need them to expound on this. Anyways, but no, but seriously, like, hold on, just think about this. In both aspects of a vampire who is a chicken farmer, imagine the vampire having to go outside at night and like feeding their chickens and like doing all the stuff at night when they're like normally asleep.
Yeah.
They'd be a really good chicken farmer. However, they couldn't go out there during the day. So I wonder if the chicken farmer, because they're a vampire, would like have lots of dogs to protect the chickens during the day.
Oh, probably.
And like I've started to go way too in depth with this response.
Yeah, that's
And
right. Like, how
and
does that work precisely?
on the other side of this, like let's say that that's vampire chickens, and like you're a farmer of vampire chickens. What
How do how do
is
you
that?
feed them?
How do
How do
you
you
feed
feed
them?
them?
Do you throw the pig in there and let them just nom nom nom? Is there like one who's a chicken, like a vampire chicken lord, and everybody else is their thralls or whatever? Like,
Or you
what?
have to do, or do you have to do like me that one time and just not exactly share a bread with your chicken, but just chill in the chicken house while they just feed on you? I don't know.
Okay, I've googled vampire chicken, and as far as I know, there is no real vampire chicken named out there in the world. So I know I'm not
For now,
dumb
for now.
for now. I know I'm not
For
dumb at this
fucking
particular second. Um, Tar- Damien from the Roleplay Rejects said, his alchemist goblin has a pet dire bat, Desmodus. Otis the rat catcher has his rat Rodney, and Fudge Puppy has his pet Human. So they did this. They did this podcast, all right, where of course, they have a podcast. I've talked to them many times. They are very good friends of mine. I love them so much, and the rest of them will be on the podcast at some point in the near future. But they did this playthrough of the Bunkers and Badasses tabletop, right?
Mhm.
And sorry, I have to tell my son to turn it down.
Oh, okay. Oh well, I can ramble on again on my characters. I've realized with that question that most of my characters are like dog persons, which kind of fits with me because I also kind of like dogs. But
I
let's be
love
fair, I
dogs.
love all pets.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, but sorry, really quickly, but so I don't lose my mind on this. The animal, uh, the human is a skag. A skag is like this dog-like thing in Borderlands that has like a really big mouth and fins.
oh
So
wow,
yeah,
so
so
a
you know.
lizard dog?
What was that?
Is that a lizard dog?
Yeah, it's like a lizard dog
Oh, I love
or
it.
something like that. And human bit off his character's finger the first time they met, And Fudge Puppy, being a psychopath, was just like, oh.
Yeah,
I can't wait for Damien to hear my poor impression of his Fudge Puppy.
that is pretty much what a dog person does.
Anyways,
Oh,
go
you
watch
can
Roleplay
take it
Rejects.
off. Isn't that cute?
So yeah, and Dartambe said that he has like his mounts, which I can understand that too, because I've always liked the idea of Callie having like a bear companion since she was
Ooh.
raised between Cyrodiil and
Mm-hmm.
or sorry, between Bruma and Skyrim. So I
Yeah.
always imagined that like they had a bear companion, and I keep trying to introduce a bear into her story, like her role play. It just never works out. So whenever you
Yeah.
guys see Callie on a bear mount, that's the bear. But it's not really there, I guess. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird.
It's like I remember one time, like during orders, like we were in like this cave, and a snake fell on Poppy's head, and I decided, yeah, she's gonna keep it and call it rope. But like the thing is that Papier, like she has magical abilities, but really reducted. So she can only like produce lightning on her bodies and shoot them out with like her, well, by spitting them, pretty much like a dragon. So yeah, like there isn't a safe place to have a pet around because she electrifies her body. It's gonna get grilled.
It's gonna get grilled.
Like rope is gonna become spaghettis.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like it kind of bugs me because like I want her to have a pet that she gave a stupid name that just fell on her head one time. But
Mm-hmm.
the logistic behind is just really confusing.
If it's okay with you, let's move on to the next thing.
Sure.
If that is all right with you. So we've answered the question of the week. Your characters, your pets, their characters, their pets. And if you want to answer these questions, you can join up in the Discord, link down below. Please come join us. Please, 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 please.
Please, we're lonely.
Now we get to have either like a topic that you want to have, or we can just kind of keep having a conversation about role playing.
Yeah, well, I had an idea about something that I would love to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I have some ideas because, of
Mm-hmm.
course,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also mostly like what roleplay brought in my life.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, yeah. No, I agree. As a matter of fact, I think you and I can really go in depth with this conversation because
Oh,
you and
absolutely.
I have seen each other in like in these very bad moments, and not
Yeah,
bad as in like we did something wrong, but like bad mental states.
yeah, and even that because, like, I've I have more than 7 years of role experience roleplay, and all those years, throughout all those years, there's been a lot going on, especially like my transition and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when
Mm-hmm.
I started roleplay, I wasn't even aware I was a girl.
Right.
Like, and actually pretending to be a girl online helped me with that.
Right. So
So
can I
when I
uh,
said like the other day that roleplay pretty much saved my life, I'm not over exaggerating so much. It pretty much did.
I can absolutely understand, and because I also have I think I've told you about this beforehand. I have problems with my own gender identity. That's the reason
Hmm.
why you see me play more female characters and male characters, and then the male characters that I do play have a lot of femininity to them, and then a lot of the female characters that I play have a lot of masculinity to them. My, like yourself, I have this body that I don't feel like my body,
Yeah.
and I want to change this body. But
Hmm.
for those of us who grew up in a way that we could never do that, we just had to sort of use our own uh, our own ways of coping. And
Yeah.
role playing was just like such a big thing. There's
Hmm.
a there's an article out there that basically says men who role play women are basically committing rape, and makes me so mad
What the
because
fuck?
I know, like, I can't believe I saw this fucking
Exactly.
thing. It was like it just like blew me away. I was so upset when I read this stupid article, because it doesn't ever touch on the feeling that on the base that the reason why people might roleplay a different character of them like separately from themselves is because they might want to experience that.
Yeah. Like,
And
I know
go
that
ahead.
like some people keep reminding people like, yeah, your character isn't you, but I tend to believe that your character is in a way a part of you, because
Mm-hmm.
you created a character, and like obviously you can't make stuff out of the blue. Like that the way your character lives is through you, so naturally that character is a part of you in a way. Even especially like if bad stuff happens to that character, that doesn't mean that happens to you too. But still, your character is just another way to express yourself. So like yeah no, even like I I did that as a boy to play a girl, but that was just a hurt person trying to live a life they never had the chance to. That has nothing to do. Like I know some people role play, like some men role play women because it's think they're hot, but it's
Mm-hmm.
fine. It's really fine for you. Like obviously I'm on the school that like the story goes first. If you think your character is hot, sure, but give them a reason to be. But even if you're
Mm-hmm.
just like I know my girlfriend that also does role play in parentheses because like she does sexting with, well we did that, but she also did with other people back then. But yeah, she did that a lot, and yeah, it is in a way a valid sort of form of roleplay too, even if it's different. And still, there is nothing so wrong with that because your characters are a part of yourself. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, if I were to touch my own hand, obviously this hand got my consent.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no rape going on because I can't rape myself. Because if I do it, I want to do it in a way.
Right.
It's weird.
And it's just you is the
Yeah,
thing. It's like
and
I
like
just God, I just don't I just didn't understand that state like
yeah, no,
that.
that
And I
that's
tried so hard to anyways,
that's
but
complete bullshit.
I don't want to get into that. What I'm trying to say is
Yeah,
Pop here. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I'm happy that you're around role playing with us for real. Like
thanks.
you are a great person to be role playing with. You were so like when I joined the Divine Conclave and you were there, you were so cool. Oh, you're just the coolest person in the
Ooh.
guild. Everybody loved you. Everybody wanted to like be with you. And I'm just like I'm a stupid lizard. I would like a hug, please.
There. It's weird because
Um,
I I have a really poor self-esteem. Like I'm
mhm,
working on this right now, but like it's so funny that you like not funny like this is so funny, but like it's ironic that you tell me that because I often think like, oh, I'm just a stupid lizard. Look at all these people, like even you. At one point, I was like really like inspired by everything you did like your cave that you opened for people to just roleplay through. I was really telling myself, I should do stuff like that. I should be like that person. Why am I the way I am? So it's pretty funny that actually like we both inspire each other.
yeah. And give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. My
Yeah,
son
sure, go
needs me.
ahead.
Do you
Go
want to say
ahead.
hi? Oh, he's so itchy. He says.
Oh no.
Give me 1 second. Let me get this
Yeah,
sorted.
yeah, of course. But yeah, I have one character that would like cats, and it's Ife Pabo, which is like a barmaid that, because of a weird accident, became a warlock for a ghost that came from a computer from space. I swear I wasn't high doing that character. But yeah, she would like a cat because she's more like a quiet kind of character. She doesn't really like noise and stuff, even if she's a barmaid. But she's pretty much just like to stick to herself, even though if she's caring, but caring in a way that she doesn't really show that much, like a cat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just had to fix my son's tablet right
No,
quick. I'm
it's fine.
sorry. Unfortunately,
I took the opportunity to keep talking about my characters.
No, it's fine. I am happy to hear you talk.
So yeah, I also have another character, Zoe, who she would actually loves octopuses because she really values herself by her intelligence. So having a pet that is also would be important.
Mm-hmm.
I just take the opportunities.
So like that sort of touches on what we've been talking about before.
Sure.
And where we are talking about these characters and how they can influence us and how they can help us. Like, I would not be as confident as I am now if I didn't have these characters to learn through.
Yeah.
Because I can't, like, me learning how to do things is complicated. I don't want it to be complicated. It just is. So having these vessels that I can comfortably like use to learn and to grow as a human being, I mean, I think that's amazing. And it's just what we've been talking about earlier with, how we feel like role playing has saved our lives. And I agree. Like when I came to the Divine Conclave, I had lost my home again.
Yeah.
I had lost my family again. I came out of what I thought was a great relationship, but then just suddenly wasn't. And I had to just pick up and change.
Yeah.
And when Callie came to the conclave, I think I've told you about this. I think she's told Popular this. Like, Callie came to die. And I got back into role playing because I felt like I had nothing else to live for except to be a father.
Yeah.
And I just needed to express that somehow. And so therefore Callie came to the conclave.
Yeah.
And through that, she got better, and I over time got better too. I say that, but
Yeah, life is a roller coaster. And I don't like roller coasters.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I know it's funny because I pretend like at first I pretended to be like my character was a girl, but when people asked me like about my real life, it's funny because like back then I don't know why I did it, but I said that I was a girl in real life too. It just came out on its own. Like I don't remember thinking about doing it. I just did. It's really funny because like in hindsight, I can see why I did it. But back then I had no idea why I did it. And it never occurred that maybe I didn't even think about like, oh, I'm lying to these people. I just think, yeah, this is just to live the life I want. And through my characters, it's also a way to be who I wish I'd be. Not especially biting people, but what I mean is like I'm somewhat shy. Doesn't show much because I'm also kind of pretty much out there. But at the same point, I'm kind of shy of showing up to people, especially since back in high school, I had no friends, none whatsoever.
Do you find that it's easier to connect with people through these characters?
Yes and no. Because
what do you mean?
I've seen something like that. It's because online is like the opposite of like meeting people online is the opposite of meeting people in the real life. Because in the real life, you know their face, their name, and the last thing you're gonna know about them is their interest, which is pretty much how you connect. Online, you know what they like first. You know their interest. Then you know maybe their name at one point, and eventually you know their face if you get really far. So it's easier to connect, but I'd say maybe harder to really connect. You know what I mean? So it's a mixed bag, especially since like at some point, the friends I had online was the only ones I had.
Right.
So yeah, it's a different story. Plus, it's not as like I'm gonna say it's funny. It's not exactly funny, like you mentioned, like that. The only thing you had that your roleplay helps you put yourself in the mentality of I need to be a father. But one of my friend my French group of roleplay have a son, a daughter. Sorry, I misgendered the baby. Basically, like her daughter was born not long ago, and one of the joke we made in the server is that basically, like we were all the training kids, and like every single new represents one of the personalities. It's just kind of funny because I think roleplay, like I was about to say, also kind of helps better, not exactly understand, but you better build like what you should do and shouldn't in a relationship. Because like you get to experience more without much, like not without risk. There is risk, but you don't risk a lot because it's all fictive. So plus, I'm getting to ramble. Plus, you like you also get the cover and anonymity, which can help ease some people, so they can really just show what they are deep down. So.
Well, okay, we've been recording for a while. I know that we've kind of go off topic and tangents like that. We've talked about some kind of heavy stuff right there at the end. And we've been recording for a while, so I feel like I should go ahead and start closing it down. But I would love to continue having this conversation with you later if you would like.
Sure.
So do you have any questions for me about role playing in general?
I don't think so.
Papier, thank you for coming on. At this point, if you have anything that you would like to plug for yourself or for anybody else, you may.
Well, honestly, just like on most, not all platform, but like on some platform, I just go by Bistellaire. So, like, I know I have an Instagram account where I post some of my drawings, and eventually I'm gonna probably open like a proper site where I can sell some of my art, maybe take some requests. But it's not really in the making for now, and I don't have that much time to draw. I'm trying to put it in my schedules, but it's still coming. But eventually, I'm planning for that.
Oh, let me know when, and I'll put all the links down below.
Sure, I'll send you the link to my Instagram. And anyway, I'm probably whenever I open this, I'm probably gonna make an announcement on there too.
That's fair. All right, you get to ask the new question of the week.
Okay.
Don't hyperventilate, please.
I have one that's kind of weird, but like, I've had it for a while, and I had plans for others, but I completely forgot them. So I'm gonna say this one. If your character were to become like lore breaking, like if they were to become like the most powerful version of themselves, like across the multiverse, what would they look like?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Basically, I'm just gonna reiterate. If your character became a god of something, what would that be?
Oh my god, no. Callie doesn't need to be a god. Are you kidding me? What about Papier? What about Papier? Hold on, same question with Papier.
I thought about it, but probably Papier would probably become like probably like a god of a goddess probably of the seas, obviously. Of seas and maybe thunder, because like if I could make Papier an actual dragon, I would, but I can't.
Okay, well, that is it. Thank you, Poppy.
Woo!
Poppy? I'm sorry, thank you, BB,
Anything.
for coming back on.
We showed.
Or for coming on for the first time. My head is gone. I am so sorry. So thank you, BB, for coming on and talking with me, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate you inviting me, and I hope one day maybe I'll come back.
Yeah, you're most certainly welcome to come back. And I'm sorry that this one seems a little out of place. My child tonight has just been so very attention grabby, and
No,
so we had to drift in and out of conversations. I'm so sorry, everybody.
I also like attention, so I can understand that.
All right, so let me go deal with this little child. Thank you so much for coming on. Love you very much, and I am so glad that you are still here and that you are with us and that you are my friend. And thank you.
Me too. I'm glad you're still here despite everything.